Hello, welcome back to Blender LiveNoding. In this episode, I will be giving you a breakdown of this setup. Was actually inspired by Stan, one of my sverchok friend. So basically, it's a cylinder, but you're able to stripe it into its pieces. Okay, so the node trees looks really scary at first, but I'm gonna give it breakdown. It's actually quite simple. We start with the cylinder, and you can see the parallel and the meridian has value that you can control, just like a normal cylinder. There is this red part and the blue parts. You can think of it like just like the U and the V, or row and columns of a cylinder. And we can actually manipulate it with, we can control it. Let's say you can see the pink color vertical polygon face. That's actually being controlled by this guy. I can randomize the stripes. I can actually tell it, okay, I want 12 random stripes. So we can actually do that thanks to this random select setup. But up here, there's also the blue one. Here I can actually tell it, okay, I want a step of 2 and I want a how many. We can actually really control the selections of the stripes. Okay, so start with from 0, we can step like 4 times, and yeah, we can have all sort of things like that, and we can easily bake it. So the result is really just a bunch of rings. So in a way, it's almost like selecting the edge loops or the edge rings of the cylinder, more or less. But it's what's underneath is actually interesting. I think it's probably specific to sverchok, but I'm gonna show you what happened when I start coloring this. So we can colorize nodes, right? So I found these nodes is especially interesting. So list split. We have the normal cylinder with all kind of values. We're gonna have a look later. This thing will split the polygon face data, and the split size is based on this meridians value. Okay, so that's first. And then this goes into two things, because I have two outputs. One is for this horizontal one, and the other one is for vertical output. Okay, so from this list split, the data coming out, we are using list item. So I'm gonna colorize this list item with different color. There's this list flip as well, but take a look at list item first of all. List item level 1. This one is list item level 2, and that's actually make the difference, vertical or horizontal. Okay, and the output of this one, the red one, I actually flip the data so that the output is actually correct. If I didn't flip the data, you will see if I bake something, this one actually being separated horizontally. Okay, so we don't want that. That's why I flip the data, so the output of this is still vertical and nice. Okay, so that's the difference. There's a delete loose to get rid of the extra vertices or points. Here we have list repeater, though this is maybe not easy to understand, but we basically try to match the number of the polygon data or have a little bit more. So we can have more vertices data while the polygon data, the output is going to be polygon data anyway, because we are deleting the rest of the vertices that we don't need. Okay, so that's the long talk about it. Down here, we actually, from this setup, so if I get rid of this for now, we can actually just simply piping random index number, so we can get the stripe that we want. So you can see it's becoming really quite simple, quite robust. here we actually, it looks like a basketball hoop, for example. So yeah, so we can really control which one we want. So if we actually have a list input and we have multiple, we have random index data, and we just plug this into the index, we can tell it, okay, you create a ring index at this number, and you can grow it. You can really make polygon that you need, and you can bake it out. This is really powerful. And say we are using number range, and we are using, let's take a look at the number using stethoscope. This pattern 0, 4, 8, 12, etc., and so on, this pattern can just plug into the index, and we have this. It's quite powerful. Okay, and we can bake it out. This is also can be useful. You can, here you can merge. You can actually merge it and use solidify, things like that. So this is like separate, right? You can Control J, join it, and you can use solidify. So you can have this very quickly. Okay, so that's a number range. Down here, I have a different setup where I have this random value. So I call it random select index. So first we have a bunch of number, just like normal sequence, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Here I'm shuffling the number, shuffle number, and then here I'm slicing the number. Slicing, I just want to grab, for example, the first 12 value. So I'm just slicing the value. What happening here, that means the number will never repeat. I'm just randomizing it and slicing the number. So we have these numbers, and I can plug this into this index. So I can have random number based on this. Let's say if I specify I just want 5 vertical stripes, and I want to randomize it, so we can have that. Of course, you can use this setup up there, or use this down there. So for example, if I use this down here, I have this stripes that's kind of repeating itself, right? This is nice. Okay, and we can just simply bake it out. Okay, for if you want to bake all very quickly, over here we actually have this bake. Right, so this is the result. It's very powerful and useful, and this is just the base. If in the future I want to use this setup again, I can just simply use it. So I think this setup is something that's you can modify to your liking. So right, remember that this is actually a cylinder. You can play around with the height, you can play around with the radius, you can even turn it into like a sphere. If I go cast a sphere, I use this quite often these days. Cylinder into a sphere. Let's see, that's the vertices data, right? That's the vertices data. Okay, so it's almost like a sphere, but it's good enough. Most of the time your user cannot tell. Okay, this is like a sphere. Of course, the top and the bottom has hole, and if you push it too much, it's become like a torus, like a donut. But that's also can be pretty useful, and you have control over the stripes. Okay, really, you can have all kind of different design or pattern, and you can combine together. Okay, so that's really the idea. Hopefully you find this one totally useful for whatever you're doing. So remember this, it's not that complicated despite all these nodes coming in and out, just like noodles. But I think what matters, it's a powerful tool that you can modify procedurally. So there's a, and hopefully in the future this can be simplified further, but I think this is pretty good. It's pretty good for now. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Let me know if you have anything to add, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.